Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop197. This is my review for a day. And today's review, ladies and dudes, I hope everybody has been waiting for this for quite a while. And we are heading on to my 33rd movie review. And I'm sure everybody has been waiting for this movie review for quite a while, since I already announced it for last year that I promised all of you that I will do this movie review. So here it is, ladies and dudes. My 33rd movie review is The Prince of Egypt. And this is one of my most favorite films of all time, and truly one of the most underrated good animated films of all time. As you may know me, I am such a big fan of underrated films, even animated ones. And it's time for everybody to go back and overlook at this movie at all costs. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here's my 33rd movie review of The Prince of Egypt. So let's get started on my 33rd movie review. So the movie starts off, it took place many years ago from the land of Egypt. There's a couple, so many tired, exhausting Hebrew men who are working way too hard on creating this Egyptian empire. Thanks to those evil Egyptian soldiers, they whip those poor men to death, and they want them to continue on working while it's still frickin' hot, it's around the summer or something. So while those poor, innocent Hebrews are doing their job on creating that evil Egyptian empire, a couple of these Egyptian soldiers who had gone to these Hebrew houses, and they kidnap these poor babies and take them to a very bad sentence of death. And that is, those poor Hebrew babies are going to be eaten by those evil crocodiles. And I think that is way too dark and way too scary for those poor little kids if they see something that's not completely right for the story, if you know what I mean. So while those Egyptian soldiers are kidnapping so many babies and take them to their deaths, one special Hebrew family had finally rescued their child in time and tried to take their baby into a very safe place where those Egyptian soldiers will never find out that there's another baby, trying to make its escape and all that stuff, if you get the story. So yeah, the Hebrew family are trying really hard to save their baby, and they took their baby into the river. And this is where the story is about to begin, of this one innocent baby named Moses, who's going to learn about the true life that he had left behind many years ago while he is the new Egyptian prince for the evil empire of the Egypt Empire. So yeah, for this story, it's all about when, Moses needs to make rightful choices, making the rightful path, and try to learn to do the rightful thing of finding a way to rescue his Hebrew people from the evil wrath of the evil Pharaoh who rule over them for way too long. And he needs to find a way to save them all before it's too late. And anyway, ladies and dudes, I think that's it. That's my whole entire plot of The Prince of Egypt, and I don't want to take too many things away about it. So anyway, ladies and dudes, I guess you want to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? To tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I freaking love this movie. This movie really did blow me away many years ago. It was so darn mind-blowing. It had a good storyline, has good characters, has a great all-star cast. I love the songs. I love the score. I don't mind this CGI part of the film. There's a whole lot of stuff that I love here and there for this wonderful, epic masterpiece. Let me tell you, The Prince of Egypt is one of the best movies that came from the 90s, period. So anyway, ladies and dudes, let's head on to the strongest points and the weakest points of The Prince of Egypt. I will say for the strongest point of the film is a tie. Just a tie. Between the all-star cast and the main song called When You Believe. I will say for the all-star cast, everybody did a very well done job of making this wonderful movie happen. We got Val Kilmer as Moses. We got Michelle Pfeiffer as Zipporah. We got Steve Martin and Martin Short playing those two comedy relief priests. We got Ray Fiennes as Ramses. And there are so a lot of good characters to choose from every single actor and actress who played a bunch of interesting characters in one good film. It's hard for me to say about it. So yeah, the all-star cast is one of the good, strong points of the movie. And as for the song When You Believe, out of all the songs that I heard from Prince of Egypt, like All That I Wanted and what is it, The Heaven's Eyes and Playing with the Big Boys Now, I will say When You Believe is one of my most favorite songs of all time. This song is all about hope, dreams, having faith to yourself and for the people that you love, and try to believe in yourself. And most of all, it's all about believing in Christian faith. After all, I'm trying really, really hard to believe in Christian faith myself. If you get the idea. And I guess everybody wants to know is, which version of When You Believe is your all-time favorite? Do you like the one that came from the movie or the other that came in the soundtrack? To tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I just love both of them. It's really good. For the movie version, I will say for When You Believe song, I really love the part of the scene where Moses is ready to go. He's going to take his Hebrew people to go on to a better place, having a good land that is flowing with milk and honey. And I do love the part where the Hebrews are going out of Egypt for good and try to go to a land that they have never gone to before. It feels like they are finally free at long last, and I'll never forget that scene in the movie. It was so darn touching and mind-blowing. And also for the soundtrack, I will say that Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston did a fantastic job making up that lovely version of the song. It's their melodies, their voices, their passion, their triumph. I will say, it's really hard for me to say. I will say both of those ladies did a really good job making such an unbelievable song that we will never forget in movie history. So yeah, I love both of the versions for When You Believe. I love the movie version and the soundtrack version. It was truly mind-blowing, hands down. And now let's go on to the characters of the movie. And I will go with the four main characters that truly blew me away for this movie. First off, let's go to Ramses. I hope I got his name right. Ramses or whatever his name is. Played by Ray Fiennes. I hope I got his name right. Ray Fiennes. You know Ray Fiennes, that dude who was an old friend of Liam Neeson. and he did so many movies here and there where he played villains. I remember he played one villain in the Schindler's List, one of those evil Nazi guys that you cannot trust. And the other is a guy that you're not allowed to say his name from the Harry Potter saga. If you guys did remember those films, and I can't believe he's an old friend of Liam Neeson, but I will say for Ralph Fiennes as Ramesses, I will say, in my opinion, that was his best performance that he ever did so far in his career. I only know a few of his movies here there, but him as Ramesses, that's his best performance right there. I really love this character. He's not a too bad villain. I will say I love his personality. I love his attitude. He does have some arrogance. I will give him that. Ramesses is such a cool character. I will say the best part of Ramesses is definitely in the first half of the movie where he was a happy, playful character. He likes to tease Moses a lot, and I just like it better when he was so darn friendly in the first half of the movie and not in the second half of the movie. He was playing a villain of the film, if you get the idea. But yeah, Ralph Fiennes did a really good job playing that dude. And as for Zipporah, played by Michelle Pfeiffer, I will say Michelle Pfeiffer did a pretty good job playing a really cool, awesome character who has a whole lot of spunk. She has so much grace and beauty. She's a very smart character. She has a really cool camel. And I love the part where Zipporah and Moses had a really, really good relationship, and I saw a really strong connection between those two. I will say for Moses and Zipporah, they were another good animated love couple I do enjoy. Not just Tarzan and Jane from Disney's Tarzan. So yeah, I will say for Zipporah, she's a really awesome character with a great personality, great attitude, and she is truly a desert flower, if you know what I mean. And also for Miriam, I will say for Miriam, I will say she was the second protagonist in this whole entire movie. And yes, she is played by Sandra Bullock. The one who did this main character who was based by a true story, you know, the movie The Blind Side. I only saw a little bit of it, but it was alright. I will say for Miriam, she was a very good, headstrong character. She had a good storyline, great personality, great attitude. She has a whole lot of faith in herself. She has faith for her Hebrew people and her family, and she did have a whole lot of faith in Moses. And I guess you could say that Miriam is truly the main guide for Moses in the whole entire story. And I love the part where she did help out her brother, try to get everybody out of Egypt in time and try to keep the faith alive. So yeah, I will say Miriam is the second protagonist in this whole entire movie, hands down. And as for the main character, Moses, played by Val Kilmer, I will say Moses is definitely one of the best characters in the whole entire movie. Now, this guy really did blow me away. He is the great main protagonist in this whole entire movie. I mean, he had an excellent storyline. He has a great personality, great attitude. I will say this is Val Kilmer's best performance in my own opinion. Along when he did Bruce Wayne and Batman for Batman Forever, and that's coming really soon in the future. But yeah, Val Kilmer has a fantastic voice. It's very rich, very powerful, very strong, and I like the part where he did play both a young and older version of Moses for the later on part of the movie, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Moses is a really cool character, and I really love both the older and the younger version when time had passed, I guess. And I'll never forget that memorable scene that he did well, let's just say God did go to his body and somehow Moses and God became one. If you know what I mean, if you remember that scene. But anyway, Moses is a great character overall. And now, ladies and dudes, here we go. Here's my final thoughts of Prince of Egypt. Overall, Prince of Egypt is one of the best movies of all time. One of the most underrated films ever in movie history. It had a good storyline, great characters, great hand-drawn animation, and all-star cast, good all-star cast, great score, great songs, and all the above. So to cut this short, I decided to give this movie a perfect high rating score of 10 out of 10. You have better watch this movie to believe it. And there you go, ladies and dudes. That is my whole entire movie review of The Prince of Egypt. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. And join me next time for my next ones to come. I don't care if it's Batman Forever or Princess Mononoke, but I'll tell you that very, very, very soon in the main future. So anyway, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobon1987. Sayonara!